Hello, Dandies. Welcome to another episode of Braving Britain. We are joined by quite a regular special guest now, and hopefully more and more regular. So we have the lovely Trish here from our recruitment.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon.
And we thought today we'd tackle still quite a hot topic, I suppose, and one that's obviously been changing throughout the past year or so, which is, of course, COVID. So
Yes.
Exactly. And of course, I know a lot of people that are keeping an eye on the news have seen that our government in the UK has changed the COVID sort of rulings in this country since May 17th. And so we thought we'd give you a bit of an update about what that means for you guys and just answer a few questions.
Yeah. And most importantly as well, is this is kind of current as of this date. As per our UK government, we have reviews every couple of weeks on travel lists and corridors and things like that, which we'll come on to. So there is a website to go to, which we'll give at the end, around where you can get the up-to-date information.
Awesome. Yeah, so I originally had 5 questions, but I actually got an extra one today, which I've thrown on the end. I did warn you about it, but you didn't see it.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. I'm used to it now. So, of course, let's start with the most obvious thing. So, since the latest announcement regarding COVID in the UK, what has actually changed?
So, since the last announcement, which is around travel restrictions, and we've got a new traffic light system for travelling around into the UK and exiting the UK. So the government have introduced a traffic light system. So we've got red, amber, and green for anyone coming into the country, into the UK. So, and there's various restrictions on each of those traffic light systems. So red is that anyone coming in on a red list needs to quarantine in a hotel, in a government provided hotel for 10 days. Anyone on the amber list needs to quarantine in their own homes or any accommodation for 10 days and has to have a COVID test on day 2 and 8. And then anyone on the green list is free to come into the UK. That is slightly different for UK people exiting the country. So in the UK at the moment, the advice is only travel outside of the UK if absolutely necessary. The green list is you're free to travel. And I think the main country for that, for most of us in the UK, is Portugal, because we're all looking forward to go on holiday in Portugal. There's a few others on there. The amber list it is advisory not to travel to these countries. And the red list is no travel.
Okay.
So it's slightly different for people coming in to those that are exiting the country.
Okay, so I suppose when you're coming in, it's down to what sort of isolation you need, whereas when you're going out, it's whether you're allowed to, essentially.
Essentially, that is it, yeah.
Fair enough. I'm glad that they did that. It's nice and simple.
Yeah. Although it's a little bit complicated when you read into it, but it sounds simple.
It does. We're very good at that. We like to make it sound simple, but hide all the complex stuff for the public. They don't need that bit. So I'm guessing for our overseas nurses that are coming here, does that mean that they stay in the accommodation then?
So there's two routes really, and your recruitment advisors or officers that you're dealing with the trust will be totally up to date on any of these situations and any changes. So if we've got candidates coming in on the red list, we organise the government hotels. It's a standard process. There's so many hotels and they're normally all run by the airport where we're travelling into. So they are isolated for 10 days in the government hotel. They have to have a COVID test on day 2 and 8. Most trusts provide a care package as well, because let's face it, if you're in isolation for 10 days in a hotel room, 3 meals a day is not going to be enough. You're going to need snacks and lots of snacks.
And I will say on that, if you do want to hear the fun argument we had about snacks, feel free to watch the previous video we did with Trish, where we had a lovely scone debate.
So most trusts, are sending care packages to candidates, but also included in that, we will be getting you to do some online training and statutory training and things like that. So just kind of pass the days. If you're coming in on the amber list, most people come in on red list, to be fair, but if you're coming in on the amber list, you'll be isolated in either trust accommodation that's provided or in your own accommodation if you arrange that. Again, you have to be isolating and you have to have a COVID test on day 2 and 8. So, but all that is arranged when you do your passenger locator form when you're traveling into the UK, which is a mandatory form that you have to do when you travel. It's all on the website, but we would send that out to candidates. So I'll say, right, you need to complete this before you come in.
Sure, that's fair enough. And I'm guessing if they are going to like a housing accommodation that they've arranged, does that mean that everyone in that house also has to isolate?
The other members of the household can go to work, but you really should be keeping your distance in the household as per our social distancing requirements. So what we're trying to say is you need to keep your distance as much as possible, because we just need to make sure that there's nothing that's come in and that you're safe and that nothing's going to be passed on to other members of the household.
Yes, that would be nice. I don't want to catch it. But that's great. And does that basically, I know we have a lot of questions from our overseas nurses where they're asking, now that the system seems to have eased up a bit, does that mean they're allowed home to see their family out of emergency cases?
So not at the moment. So the government kind of controls at the moment, like I say, with the red, amber and green list for travelling out of the UK, are very clear that if you're travelling to a country on the green list, you're free to travel. If it's on an amber list, it is advisory not to travel. And if it's a red list, no travel. So and that's where we are just at this moment. It is reviewed every 2 weeks. So you just have to keep up to date with that. So obviously, if it's an emergency, then that can be considered, but those are the general rules. No, it's so difficult. It's so difficult because people want to go home and visit family. But the situation that we have to be cautious.
That's fair enough. I mean, everyone's trying to be safe, so it makes sense. And of course, we don't want you to be delayed either. We want you to get here, have your quick isolation and start your training.
Yeah, and as soon as travel opens to exit, we want people to go home and visit families. So hopefully life will be returning to normal, but we just have to be following the rules, really.
Yeah, that makes sense. So it's not much of a holiday at the minute anyway. You go there, you isolate for 14 days, you come back, isolate for 14 days. You're a bit knackered either way.
Exactly, yeah.
Just stay in a hotel here. Lovely. Put on some wallpaper.
Yes. They're not as nice as hotels in some other countries for isolation, though.
No, I imagine there's some nicer views. Just need to put up something like on the window, like a poster.
Although you'll be able to watch the planes.
Yeah, you can sit at the airport.
Yeah, it is very difficult, but this is the way of the world at the moment.
Yeah, but we are seeing light at the end of the tunnel more and more every day. So
exactly, we are our roadmap, as Boris says, we are on our roadmap out of COVID.
That's fine. If it's anything like the roads in this country, it'll be a while.
There'll be a few potholes.
There'll be some roadwork somewhere for sure. Probably around rush hour, we time it well.
Yeah, exactly.
So I know they're still putting all these new ideas and thoughts into place for the upcoming months and stuff. Is there sort of anything set in stone that we're preparing for?
I wish there was, but nothing is set in stone. As we've kind of found out through this whole pandemic, really, the plans that we have in place are only plans. They can change in a moment. With different variants that come in, it does change the roadmap, that sometimes we get delayed and we're not as open when, things aren't opening up as quickly as we expect them to. So, yeah, unfortunately, it's just, this is the plan, but we know it might change.
Yeah. That's understandable. I know where we're coming from with that. It is a tricky situation, but we're making the most of it as best we can.
Yeah. We would love some firm plans and recruitment.
Yes.
But we haven't been there for over 12 months now. So I think we're just getting used to it being very flexible.
No worries. Well, as I say, I've got one question that came up from the community that I kind of overheard or overlooked, I suppose. Which was from a lovely member called Martin Abelita.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a nice name. And so he asked, he's heard some rumors lately that some of the countries, that are being recruited from are sort of selecting their nurses based on their level of vaccine or which vaccine they've had received. Is that something that the NHS is really doing? I don't think it will be.
Absolutely not.
No.
When you're arriving in the UK, we're finding out if you've had a vaccine or not.
Mm-hmm.
And that is no way to kind of shortlist anyone or recruit anyone any faster. It is purely when you're here, we then know what vaccination you need to have.
Yes.
Because that is one of the things that we are very keen on when people enter the UK. They're in the vaccination process as quickly as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So if we do ask the question when people are joining us around vaccines, but like I say, it's purely to then think, right, actually, you've had your first vaccine, so we need to get you in for your second one.
Yeah.
What type of vaccine you've had, because obviously overseas, it may be the different vaccine that we've had in the UK. So it's more to get you on the right process to get your vaccines when you're in the UK.
That's it. So no changing based on which one you've had or if you've had any at all.
No, absolutely.
That's it. And of
we
course,
will. Yeah, we would never do that.
No, I suppose rumors circulate all over the place.
Yeah.
So at least we can lay this one to rest.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And of course, one of the strangest questions I had on the comment from one of our previous videos was, "Do I have to have the vaccine?" Well, we'd rather you did.
Yeah, it is purely voluntary.
Yeah.
And if you've got any concerns about why you don't want to have the vaccine, then I would encourage you very strongly to have a conversation with one of our healthcare professionals to discuss why not.
Yeah.
Because yes, we would like you to have the vaccine to protect you, to protect the patients, to protect your family. That's what it's there for. So it's more around what are the reasons why not, and can we alleviate any fears?
Yeah. Essentially, I mean, I know there's a lot of worries, and there's so many rumors going around about vaccines and everything, but then that's been going around for years.
Yeah. Don't listen to everything that you hear in the media.
No.
Come and speak to somebody to get the facts.
Yes. Always be asking. Don't forget ABBA, great band.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. I mean, it's just one of those things. It's just giving you that little information about what's happening now, and what's going to change for you guys.
Yeah, and like I say, this is a 2 week, every 2 weeks things do change, well, sometimes every weekly. So it's important to kind of really stay up to date on all travel, what is opening up in the UK as well, so what the restrictions are in your local areas, as well as traveling overseas and coming into the UK. It is really important to stay up to date, especially at the time that you're about to travel.
Yeah, that's it. I know we've had a lot of questions about what has been changing. I hope we've answered quite a few of them here. And if things do pop up that are quite big in the next few weeks or so, I'm sure we'll be sticking our radar out and getting another one of these whipped up.
Yeah,
get you all
exactly.
That's it.
Well, we've got another announcement next week in June, the first week of June.
Ooh.
There should be another announcement, so fingers crossed.
Ooh, anything big, keep an eye on this spot. We may be coming to annoy you again.
Yeah, or BBC News. That's always a good sign.
Yeah, but don't tell them that, then they won't watch us. Don't tell them BBC News. No, don't believe everything you see in the news, but watch BBC News.
Yeah, they're very reliable. So yeah, no, it's good. And I know there's a lot of worries about traveling, and I know people are really keen to get in into the UK and really start their careers in the UK, but we have to be controlled, and everyone has to be safe, and we're
Yeah.
making sure people are safe when they arrive as well.
That's fantastic. I mean, I won't hold you up for too much longer. I know you're at work. I recognise the walls. But hopefully, if you have got any other questions, of course, same thing again, leave a comment with us or on the Facebook group, which Trish is also in. If in doubt, you can always email her direct. I'll send the email address again.
Thank you.
That's all right. I love annoying you.
It's my pleasure.
Keep an eye on here. We're going to have lots of updates coming up. We've got a video actually coming up to discuss developing countries as well, which is going to be quite a fascinating one, hopefully. Like and subscribe as usual, and keep an eye out for upcoming videos. See you guys. Bye for now.